such an asshole.
So, as you guys know, I hang out with the Chad Elkins, the most famous CPA in all of Portland right now, because the most famous CPA in the United States is Brian Kim. I was going to say the most famous CPA in Chicago, but Brian Kim also lives in Chicago where Chad lives. So, Chad is I guarantee you, Chad is the second most famous CPA in all of Chicago, but not not the most famous. That'd be Brian Kim. But hanging out with Chad, I've been on his podcast many times. And he's like, dude, there's such a shortage. I don't have enough time to keep up with work. I have to cut clients. There's a shortage. And it's not that I didn't believe him, but I had no idea how bad the shortage was until I did a little bit of research. And I think one of you guys said, by the way, if you say I did a little bit of research, I don't mean like back when I had a real job and would do the work myself. I mean, when I say I did the research, I meant you guys were kind enough to send you did the research and you found me a link like, hey, here it is, like a sacrificial offer of a goat. Here's your link, mighty Cappy. Thank you. You'll have good crops this year. I remember when I had a real job and did real work. Now, thankfully, I'm very, don't flood me with dumb shit, though. I think someone sent this to me. This is from the UCLA Anderson, which is a business school. Remember, you never go to business school unless it's for accounting or MIS. Technology's hidden role in the accountant shortage. Software that saves time and money may paradoxically be resulting in a shortage of accountants. I will temporarily put that on hold and disagree with it later. Let's just look at some numbers here. Most of the supply chain shortages from the pandemic era have passed, but the shortage of accountants is still very real. There are 340,000 fewer accountants than 5 years ago, according to a Bloomberg analysis of data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, you don't know, well, what's 340,000? Like if there were 5 million accounts, like, yeah, okay, we're going down, but not by much. Leaving the U.S. in total, with only 1.6 million. And the talent pipeline is drying up. The number of candidates taking the CPA exam is the lowest since 2006. And if you do the math, it is 18%. We have lost 18% of our accounting potential in 5 years, and it looks like it's going to get worse. And this was written, it's a relatively new article, March. What is the, it's this year. Let me click on this link, which will go to Bloomberg, and they're going to say, you should pay. I'm like, no, I'm not going to. This is March 1st, 2024. So we're down maybe 19%. You're losing, what is that? 20% divided by, that's 4% a year? Yeah, so maybe we are up to a full 20% now. That's horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. We need accountants. Now, they're focusing on CPAs and presumably tax accountants. I'll read the rest of the article here, and you'll find out the troubles that come with not having enough accounting majors. But boy, God almighty, we sure got enough DEI dipshit majors now, don't we? Got a lot of journalism majors and political scientists and all you other assholes from the preppy little suburbs who just know how you Jessica and Jason Christ, you're going to save the world. Ooh, accounting's so boring. I'm going to save the world. You dipshits are part of the problem, not the solution. So continuing on, businesses large and small are feeling the effects. Publicly traded companies lament in their financial statements and inability to find enough certified accountants, which may contribute to high-profile errors in regulatory filings. And the remaining accountants are increasingly working grueling hours and burning out. I talked about this before. I had a class. I talk about it. Creating a vicious cycle in which a shortage of accountants is leading to even fewer accountants. Oh, well, then we should still require bachelor's required, master's preferred. I'm wondering if with this technology punt, they're going to punt on technology. Yes, see, it's the technology. That's what's really doing. Oh, I thought it was the unnecessary 6 years of schooling to sit for the CPA exam and a year working under a CPA and 3 pints of blood in one shot. That's what I thought might have been deterring people. Or maybe here, I'm going to use some foul language, and CPA people, their ears are very fragile. Maybe you pussies at the CPA societies, that those are the professional organizations of CPAs, could reach out to the federal government and Congress and say, you need to simplify the tax code. I know that would be confrontation. Maybe Chad Elkins could lead the CPA societies like in Lord of the Rings against the orcs. He could lead them to Congress and give a very inspiring speech about telling Congress, the fact that, hey, you got to simplify this tax code. Oh, require a doctorate so they can sit for the CPA. That'll help us. Then they just start throwing random feel good words: diversity, environment, carbon footprint, equity, investment. Lower your fucking standards. Same advice I give women. Oh, we'd all be better if everyone just started lowering their freaking standards. And the remaining accountants are increasingly working grueling hours as a burnout creates a vicious cycle for your accountants. The accounting field has been trying to figure out how to reverse the trend. Me and Chad mock and ridicule accounting profession publications. How do we? Oh, we got to make accounting hip and cool again. Let's send some accountants to high schools and tell them about the exciting world of accounting. Do you guys need a consultant? Do you guys need help? Do you need a PR guy? I can help you for lots of money. Leia. Oh, he's a little brash. Oh my God, he's too colorful. What's your favorite color? What's accountant's favorite color? Gray. Ooh, edgy. Accounting Phil's been trying to figure out how to reverse the trend. The CPA Journal. Exactly. Hang on. Let's look these people. I gotta. CPA Journal. What dashing, dapper, inspiring people work there. CPA Journal. Let's go to the about. The voice of the accounting profession. Okay, about us. Oh, write for us. Maybe we could about the CPA Journal. I want to see who works there. Come on. Richard H. Kravitz, CPA, MBA, FA, CFA. I don't know what that is. Hang on. Let's look up Richard. Come on. Richard Kravitz. The face of accounting. Oh, he doesn't even have a picture. Come on, Rick. Come on. Oh, come on. Richard Kravitz. Can I see CPA? No. No, I don't think. Darn it. Darn it. There's an MD. That's not the guy, but he looks like an accountant. All right. Well. The CPA Journal, an industry trade publication, identified several possible factors behind this shortage. Okay. We're going to find out if you're anywhere near close. Some of these, like the perception that accounting is boring, it is boring. Did you sell them on the merits of the pay and the reliable employment? You trying to get people? Are you really trying to go the baby boomer route? Like, you got to be passionate about it. Are you really trying to sell people on passion instead of a paycheck? Some of these, like the perception that accounting is boring, or the fact that the field has lower starting salaries than finance or tech. Accounting does not have lower starting salaries than finance or tech. Not tech, yes. Finance, no. I guarantee if you took median income and you backed out all the people who had mommy and daddy working at Goldman Sachs and sucking the Harvard dean's dick or whatever to get little junior in there at $250,000 apiece, I guarantee you, I even did the number. Accountants make more than finance people over the career. Are potentially part of the problem, but also nothing new. Other hurdles, like the rising cost of the extra year of school to acquire 150 credit hours required for a CPA, may. We care about diversity and disadvantaged groups. That's why we're making it extra fucking hard for you assholes to even sit for the CPA. You need a master's degree now, damn it. I don't know why we can't find more accountants. Jack it up to a PhD. That'll make it more prestigious. Get Harry in here, or Larry, whatever the guy's name was. Have him write an article. May indeed be part of the problem too. You think, huh? Why is that not number fucking one? Are you guys in the CPA community that fucking dense? Are you really that stupid? Proposed solutions. Here we go. Range from trying to make accounting cooler. Oh God, you actually I don't read the articles, guys. I kind of skimmed it. Oh, okay, this is germane. This is you want to have a natural reaction. You're actually trying to make accounting cooler. Hey, she's got a great personality. Oh, well, then I want to. Oh, great personality. Why didn't you say so? Why would I want to see her in thigh highs and heels with a spankable little ass I could bounce frozen peas off of, and it's so tight it makes a pinging noise? Why would I want that when you have a great personality? Hey, kids, accounting's cool. Meanwhile, why don't you go consult some churches and make Christian rap popular while you're at it? Holy shit. Why can't you adults just like, look, the job is boring, it sucks, but that's why you get paid a lot. I'm a better Chad is the best salesman about becoming an accountant. He is. Talks about the self-employment prospects, how it's easy to be remotely employed. And we got you policy wonks. Oh, hey. Hey, kids, I'm Andy the accountant. Has a hat on sideways, sunglasses. The accounting's cool, yo. Oh, raising starting salaries. That right there makes sense. Typical corporate, we can't find employees. Raise your wages. Whoa, hang on now. Are you crazy? I don't know. Do you like losing money to employee turnover all the time? If they took the time, they spent bitching and whining about not being able to find employees and just worked extra hours. It took the money and paid more money. They wouldn't, they'd net free time. There'd be a net positive benefit of time for these people. Like if I'm running a business, I do not want to dick around with employee shortages or employee problems. I need everyone on, like, I need you there. I will pay you to motivate you so you stay there and I don't have to worry about you running off to the competition. Propose. Now, keep in mind, they're never going to do it. Did we tell you we're Price Waterhouse Coopers and Libran? We're really fancy. That's why you should work for us for $38,000 in downtown New York. It's prestigious. Why can't we find the employees? We paid them enough that they could commute from Pennsylvania. There's plenty of affordable housing over there. They just have a 3-hour commute. They're just not dedicated. Oh. And dropping the 150 credit hour rule and modifying the CPA exam. Yeah, I think they added a fourth test to it. But a working paper. Oh, who came out? Is this an academic paper? Suggests the underlying dynamics of the accounting shortage are more nuanced than ancient stereotypes. It suggests a declining number of accountants may also be due, somewhat paradoxically, to falling demand for accounting services. As corporations and individual tax preparers increasingly turn to automated software to perform tax corporation automated software. All right, software really hasn't changed in the accounting world in about at least 10 years. I was going to say 20, but I don't know. Maybe there's some nerd that created a new, better accounting. We had QuickBooks 20 years ago. You had Intuit. You had TurboTax. What was it? Tax Cuts, the other one? How are they any different? What? Don't you dare say AI. Don't you dare. Everybody we talk to in the field, there's an accounting. You can't find it. Now you're saying there's less work. Which one is it? See, people are doing it themselves. So there's not as much demand. Well, then why are you bitching about an accounting shortage? Why are there so many mistakes on people's, not people, corporations, financials at the end of the year? I mean, yeah, maybe individual tax preparers. You got one W-2. Sure, maybe they're doing TurboTax. Well, what it was it Parker or no, it was Red Hawk, or maybe it was both of them. They just got hired right off the street walking into H&R Block. You're damn right there's a shortage. As corporations, individual tax preparers increasingly turn to automated software to perform tasks formerly handled by entry level accountants, demands for accountants to have declined. Wait, which is it? Which is it? By steering towards closely related majors like finance, students are possibly making rational decisions to avoid an industry that is perceived to be easily replaceable by software. Okay, finance majors make less than accountants. Trust me. Right? You do not want to go and major in finance, especially now that interest rates are above 2%. Oh, everybody makes a lot of money when life is set on Canadian easy mode. The interest rates are 2%. The reserve requirement ratio is 0. Well, we're printing off a shit ton of money. Oh, you're all financial geniuses. When did this come out? Yeah, interest rates were higher. Yeah, really? Did you adjust for interest rates for the finance bros? Industry that's perceived, that's good choice of word, perceived to be easily replaceable by software. These findings fit with a broader literature on the complicated effects new technology has on employment, particularly with the resurfaced angst over artificial intelligence. Here it is, AI. The story of the accounting profession over the last 5 years provides a glimpse on how the market responds to labor saving innovations. Rather than being a simplistic story of people being put out of jobs and it would seem producing a glut of accountants, in some cases, the dynamic can be a good deal more complicated than that and actually result in a shortage of workers, supply and demand. In the working paper, UCLA's Anderson, Henry Friedman's, MIT's Andrew Sutherland, and University of Mannheim's Felix Vetter compared student major choices in undergrad business schools with entry level wages in related fields and firm level investment in software. Specifically, the researchers used American Community Survey data for college majors 2009 when the Census Bureau began to 2019. That's what, 10 years, and the Bureau of Economic Analysis data on industry investment in software as a proxy for the sector's overall technological resources. The results indicate that the number of accounting majors grew far slower as software investment increased. Well, couldn't we just grab any old major that saw a decrease? That's a bit of a stretch to say it's what's caused it. This was not the case with finance majors for whom more technological investment was associated with faster growth than other business majors. Wondering how many people majored in what was the trend of finance majors? One possible explanation is that tax preparation software like TurboTax and accounting software like QuickBooks became ubiquitous during this time. Even undergraduate students would be keenly aware that technology was significantly disrupting the accounting profession and reducing the demand for workers. Then why is there such complaining about a shortage? Unless it could just be that's all bullshit. It would make sense to me. Okay, lower wages. Like, okay, I'll grant you this. Your economic data bears it out. Your economic data bears it out. Where wages are low. I just think you public accounting firms are just being cheap, frankly. And you complain about the term, but let's remove that. That stands to reason. Wages are lower. That would indicate a lessening demand for accountants. But then why do you complain about the accounting shortage? And 20% in 5 years? 20% in 5 years. This goes back 10 years. You lost 20% in 5 years? More research would be needed. This dynamic plays out in the wage data as well. The researchers found software investment had little effect on business major wages overall, but finance major wages significantly expanded. In the 10 years, I'm going to say that's interest rates, man, and a second dot-com bubble. You fintech, bro. Let's see what happens the next 2 to 3 years of data. Let's go after 2019. Matter of fact, let's go 2023 and later. Let me see what the data looks like then. Whereas accounting majors lagged behind, essentially investment in software was more likely to displace spending on accountants than those with other business majors. I want to see just general business majors. Replacing or augmenting work. In the case of accountants, the researchers argued that at first demand for accounting labor declined as software made accountants redundant. Students who may have been considering accounting majors switched to related majors such as finance in numbers large enough to contribute to the shortage. You know what? That is darn possible. All this AI scare tactics actually drove people out. But would that not say that there was Would that not contribute to the theory that there is now a shortage? Right? Oh shit, we scared people we needed away. That dude, that AI thing. I know I'm guessing on it, but boy, I bet some significant money that's just going to be a big old nothing burger. But the shortage has not led to wage gains as might be expected whenever supply falls short of demand. Correct. Software has continued to improve, and employers in need of accounting work have become less willing to raise wages due to the perception that entry level accountants' technical work could be addressed by investments in IT. Well, go do it then. What I don't get is you're complaining about the shortage of accountants, and a 20% drop. That's serious. That really cuts into the muscle. Rather than raising starting salaries to encourage students to major in accounting and become accountants, the industry in effect responded that it would prefer to continue relying on technology instead of paying better wages. This in turn continues to send a negative signal to students about the accounting profession's prospects. I will say this: finance is way more interesting than accounting. There is a here's another thing. Maybe kids are getting lazier. Actually, I have a little bit of notes. Let me tell you why there's an accounting shortage, okay? And this goes to the I know students are just little twigs in the river and they can't make their own choices. First, you have bad parenting. Parents don't teach your kids to major in anything worthwhile. You have bad teachers and bad guidance counselors still perpetuating this bullshit. Follow your heart money with what you're passionate about, all that other horse shit. And then finally, these kids choose stupid majors. They do. They're not choosing accounting. I don't think like they did a terribly deep cost benefit analysis. I just think kids like been fed bullshit and hokum their entire lives about do what you want. Well, accounting, I don't want to do accounting. I think the PR campaign before these kids even signed up for a degree, they that's what kind of skewed them away from accounting because we can all be Greta Thunberg and major in environmentalism, proactive, sit on our ass and fly around the world studies. The longer the shortage goes on, is it a shortage or not? The broader the effects at higher level of the accounting profession. Critically, many accountants work with software in a way that augments their work instead of replacing it, but the talent pipeline is drying up, and there are fewer experienced accountants to do strategic thinking and other high-level tasks that cannot be done by software. Additionally, artificial intelligence is advancing in its ability to take on tasks historically performed by skilled managers trained in accounting. We'll see about that. This can allow senior managers to leverage their expertise, but can further squeeze the pipeline. The researchers' findings suggest that some industry moves to address the shortage here's another theory I have, corroborated by having conversations with the great Chad Elkins. Corporations are horrendously inefficient due to general corporate politics, bureaucratic size, and your recent heroin addiction to DEI and politics. The accounting profession itself, the companies that make up the majority of it, I'm not talking small fly by night type of companies. You guys are inefficient. And you may be experiencing some problems, but I'd say it's more because of your ineptitude and your politicization, your bureaucratization. You're just slow and large and dumb. Meanwhile, self employed accountants are doing really good and they cannot keep up. They can't. There's demand out there for accountants. It's just not through you guys. I mean, I'm in the market for a good lawyer, right? And accounting firms and law firms kind of the same. I got to do estate planning, right? Get my living will. I got copyrights. They're a little bit different. Do you know how hard it is to get a lawyer just to give you a call back? I'm not like asking him to take on some big heavy case. I'm like, hey, can you create me a will? Let's start with the living will. Can you do that? Power of attorney? Can we do that? Finally got a guy. But even I know South Dakota, the big main ones never get back to me. Main law firms. I got to imagine the accounting firms, especially the big four, you just big bureaucratic bloat. Or you're so busy with whatever skeleton crew you got that you don't have time to go and search for new clients. It's a very interesting theory that technology has lessened, and it's lessened the total amount, but you're still coming up short on the number of accountants. Researchers' findings suggest that some industry moves to address the shortage may be misguided. For example, trying to change the image of the profession may backfire, particularly if it attracts people ill suited to the profession who expect something different than what it actually is and thus don't last that long. There you go. Don't make accounting cool. Be honest. Yeah, there are, unless you're an audit, there really aren't that many good looking chicks. No one's impressed with you being an accountant, men. Ladies is a great profession for you. Absolutely. Men, you too. But you're here to make money. It's boring, tedious work, and your life should be outside of it. Oh, and by the way, avoid the big four. It's a very, very reduced and abbreviated version of my course. But yeah, hey, kids, accounting is cool. No, it's not cool. It's boring. No, you're not going to talk to people about work. You will not save the world, but neither are those assholes. They're making it worse. You're actually a productive member of society, providing a service we need. Oh. Similarly, calls to raise wages may be misguided if they do not address the underlying issue that firms view technology as a more efficient solution than labor for many accounting tasks. All right, don't. All right, we said raise the wages, but anything but raise the wages. Anything but help out young kids. Anything but that. We don't want these college graduates actually paying off their student loans. Otherwise, they could, work less. We need them enslaved to us through the banks and their car loans. By the way, you kids should sign up for a car loan first thing when you do when you graduate from college. That way, you'll be really desperate to work for us. Other efforts may help prove helpful, such as modifying the CPA exam and curricula to be more technologically focused. Even so, the researchers warned that the number of accounting majors may continue to decline unless there are fundamental changes in the way accountants are educated and trained or paid. Here's another thing I get a kick out. Okay, there's a shortage, or there's not a shortage. I'm sorry, there's not a shortage. It's technology. Then why do you have to work these people 80 hours a week during busy season? Why? And then when it's not busy season, what is it, 50, 60 hours a week? Oh, you can't leave before the manager does, bro. Even so, the researchers warned that the number of accounting majors may continue to decline unless there are fundamental changes in the way accountants are educated and trained, so the profession becomes less about applying rules and performing routine tasks and more about working in tandem with technology to provide value to employers and clients. Do you know how to use QuickBooks? I do. There, you're in. Do you know how to use Excel? I do. You're in. And then there's a handful of other tax prep software. You know that one? Yeah, I do too. You're in. Hey, you know what, accounting professionals? You gatekeepers, you guild protectors, in addition to a master's in accounting, which is essentially what you require everyone to become a CPA, you should also require a master's in computer science so they can synergy. They can combine because technology is so important. Why don't you require a master's in computer science while you're because technology is so important? And then stand there with your dick in the hand. I can't find any employer, but there's no shortage, but there is. 20% in 5 years. 20%. Anyway, link below is a link to my course, The World's Greatest Accounting Career. It is a course put together between me and Chad, taking lessons from his profession. Obviously, I'm a finance guy. That's why I could tell you do not major in finance, go into accounting. And he talks about how to get qualified for, trained for, as cheaply as possible, oftentimes without going to college, get trained for and establish a good paying accounting career. And while certainly talk about careers in the traditional corporate environment, like what they're talking here, where you go work in public accounting or you're a staff accountant at a firm, but the future of accounting, listen to me now. That's for you CPA society nerds who I've never seen such a clueless industry. Like I've never seen an industrial profession group be so clueless about their own profession. The future is self-employment. And because it's online now mostly, and people aren't getting younger, the older people are dying out, and the next generation are coming in, and the younger generation, like, why would we do this in person? Paper, pen? What are you talking about? Do it online. That's the future. self employed, remotely employed, independent contract accountants who, of there are several certifications and qualifications you get, like enrolled agent or get certified in software like QuickBooks and all that, means yes, you will have to spend some time working corporate accounting America, not much. And once you're set to go, man, once you don't have to go and ask permission. Here's what the hope I want to give and how you will solve the accounting crisis or shortage. It's not going to be through traditional employers who are just, I'm sorry, you're inept. You're fucking inept. You're clueless. You're inept. You're bureaucratic. You're slow. And many of you are politicized. You are not efficient and you are not the best. You quit being part of the problem. Put the other guy like, you're part of the fucking problem. Quit being part of the fucking problem and put the other guy back online. You're not going to know where that one's from either. The solution will be an army of self employed, remotely employed accountants who went and got educated online for free or near free. They don't even have degrees. And they'll do all the bookkeeping because you're right, they do have the software, but they don't have to go and sit for 15 years working for XYZ public accounting firm to get it. You're too efficient. You're too inefficient. You're too slow. Did it dawn on you, some of these hardworking kids, young people, young men and women, did it dawn on you they want to make a living wage so they might go have families and live life? Well, we just increased the city requirements to 150 credits for the CPA exam. I don't know what why we can't find anyone. And that's what my course because now there's not a direct path, there's direct multiple paths depending on what you want, which is the first part of the course. But if you're interested in accounting, you want to capitalize on this shortage that is here and now, yet avoid all the drama and the bull. Oh, you know what? We got to get Snoop Dogg to go and talk to the kids in high school about accounting being cool, yo. You want to avoid that shit? Hey, I got an idea. Do you want to be doing I just got an email from Father of the Year. Father of the Year. I won't mention his name. He emailed me. He says, "My son is 16. Do you think you could take the course?" Hell yeah, you could take the course. Can you do fourth or fifth grade mathematics? Maybe sixth, seventh grade mathematics. It's accounting isn't hard. It's just boring. There's no reason you can't be a fully trained accountant by the age of 18, especially with online resources. If you had a dad who cared, started you at 14, we're gonna get you. You don't have to go. Well, I mean, you probably maybe got to get some kind of high school education. But starting at 14, by the time you're 18, you would be a very good accountant if you took it seriously. And the math skills aren't required much more than what a 14-year-old has. Then you don't have to go to college, get the college experience. Yeah, I went to Wharton. I went to this school. I get the intern. And here's this 18-year-old kid with 3 years working experience. Like, yeah, I bill out at $120 an hour and I work from home. It's the home I bought. I moved out of house when I was 17 because I was making 100,000 a year. Matter of fact, my dad comes to me for a loan. I give him favorable rates because he got me into this. I got to help out my old man. All right, all right. I'll give you one under prime. It's because I love you, Dad. There, I can't guarantee anything. Okay, a lot because there's the other side of the equation. That's you. Okay, there's you, the person, and the choices you. But man, I'm not that old, but I ain't that young either. Almost 50 years old. Yeah, I do look good for 50. I've not seen it look this good. It's like Sundown and Top Gun, not Maverick, the original one. Nah, it doesn't look good. What do you mean it doesn't look good? It doesn't get to look any better than that. It has not looked any better than this. Now, if all of a sudden 8 million people all of a sudden try to become accountants, yes, then you'd have a flooded market. But when I heard 18% was gone in 5 years, and oh, by the way, I don't see any changes of American parents or teachers or guys. Just you want to major in Legos? Well, as long as you vote against Trump, that's all. Yeah, you can major in Legos. Yeah. Just sign here for $200,000 in student loan debt at Middlebury. You get your degree in Legos. Yeah, you are. Oh, it's the Republicans in the Senate. That's why you can't find a job. Like, they're still lying. And they even said themselves the pipeline of accounting I think I saw that chart. The number of accounting majors is going down. Guys, this is if you just don't believe the bullshit and the lies that somehow there's a job out there that you get paid for that's fun and enjoyable, it doesn't exist. Once you learn the people who make the most money are the ones who do the boring, painful, hard jobs like oil workers or surgeons or accountants, which is boring work. Once you learn that, then you're going to avoid this whole nightmare that the millennials went through with student loan debt, can't find jobs, working as a barista with a master's degree. And I'm trying to think of an instance, maybe IT back in the mid to late 90s, maybe there because it was so new. You could, like, you know how to set up a router? Yeah, you're in. Here's your 120 grand a year. Can you program HTML? Good. Here it is. Set up a website. You're in. So no college degree required. It's been, what is it, 25 years since I've seen something this underserved and where you absolutely do not need a college degree to do it. So that course is linked below. The world's greatest accounting career. If you can't find the link, it's on Teachable. But yeah, I saw that 340,000 out of 1.9 million. I'm like, woo, woo. I wonder if they do the same thing with journalism majors. Oh, there's not enough journalism majors. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Mazatol, 10 generous dollars. If there's a shortage of accountants, does that mean that businesses are unable to provide the feds and states of the data that is required of it? Yes, Chad has run into this. What you're talking about, Mazatol, is called compliance costs. And this is where if the CPA societies of the world had penises, they would unite, not even in a bad way. They would, in a very concerned way, go to Congress or the Fed or the IRS. They could even probably get the help of the IRS and say, look, your tax code is way too complicated. The compliance costs are way too hard. Um, and then they came out with a benefit of ownership, BOI. There's some new FinCEN came out with a requirement. Everybody had to file it. Um, yeah, there's a critical mass needed to file taxes reasonably and on time, even with extensions. And if you have it too tedious or burdensome, there's a number. I don't know what it is, but there's a number where if you go below that, yeah, now not everyone's filing. Not because they're trying to avoid filing or somehow commit some kind of crime, but there's not enough resources to do it. Don't get me started about how unnecessarily complicated our tax system is. You could still have a socialist state and a welfare state because I know everyone's really important about that. This is more important than anything in the world right now. You could have that, but we could have a much simpler means by which to collect tax revenue. Bob, $5. It doesn't seem they need accountants. It doesn't seem they need accountants. They still won't train on the job. I looked up on Indeed for bookkeeping and tax prep. They always ask for experience. Yes, that is more modernly. First, it was a Karen in HR wanting 5 years experience in a software that only existed for 3. That used to be just, sorry, a truly stupid person in HR being arrogant. Now it's all AI and outsourced and employment recruiter specialists who then outsource it to AI. And what, 40% of job listings are fake. Wells Fargo just got a lawsuit permitted to go against it about having fake job interviews. I would, this is again why you go self-employed. Yeah, they're always going to ask for experience. We want you to have experience. Fuck you. I, as President Cappy, I would immediately like, if you have entry level jobs, it requires zero experience. There will be entry level jobs. You cannot require experience for entry level jobs, and you will have a training program. And that might be very unpopular among corporations, but I don't know, maybe some young people might find some jobs and get some experience. Yeah, they always ask for experience. Inevitably, you just push through and you get charitably hired. My truth, the king, $2. What the fuck, Cappy? We're dumping on CPAs and Chad's not around. Chad's spending time with his family. He's taking a break from his podcast. He's not doing this, but it's summer. He had surgery on his back. He has a life. I don't. See, you get me. Discount Chad Elkins. Green Schwartz or $5. Our government is as delusional as the TikTok girls, and just like them down the road, they're going to wonder where are all the good men. They they could increase tax revenue because of how bleeping complicated it is to enforce this tax code on a population of 340 million people. There are much easier ways to collect even more money, which most people would be happy with, not paying more in taxes. It would be easier if you just simplified the tax code. Sam Whiskey, the most American name in America. 10 bucks. Spirit Airlines has this $1 billion debt payment due next year. Where are the accountants? Well, I don't know. The paper that financing had been signed, the accountants do not generate profit. They merely record inflows and outflows. That's up to Spirit Airlines management and the workers to determine whether they will generate the profit to pay that $1 billion debt payment and continue to be employed. The accountants merely measure it. Dung is fun, 2 bucks. They need to add 8 years of college to be a CPA. They really do. They really do. And they should lower the pay and invest more in technology that has yet to be proven. That was a real tenuous at best theory they had there. I Again, not a Democrat, not a big labor guy. What's so wrong? Cappy, we could spend $10 million on a computer software system, or we could spend $10 million on some employees. If you posed it to me like that, I'd be okay. Well, the software system doesn't have families to support or dreams to pursue. Maybe we hire some humans. Maybe it's better for society. Ceteris paribus, things being equal. Why don't you hire some more people? How much more efficient can the software be? I want to know what software this is. What is it? I mean, not accounting, but I worked underwriting. Okay, we had automated underwriting, basically kind of enter this. It's like TurboTax, but for loans. Now I even programmed my own spreadsheet, which worked better, by the way, than a fucking software I saw. But it's been a long time since I've been in the field. Okay, it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of an advantage. You still needed people. Liam the Dick, 5 Australian. Hey, Cap, I'm aspiring CPA from the land of Australia. Can confirm there's a shortage based on the number of recruiters reaching out to me. Right. And you have an added benefit. Now, the accounting is a little bit different depending on which former British territory you happen to be from. But the fact you speak English and accounting kind of is universal with slight variations among each country. You could you could easily take on U.S. Clients if you'd like, because we don't have any accountants. Have a bunch of dipshit liberal arts majors, sanctimonious asshole. They have their degree in sanctimonious assholeness. Kind of find a job. Bob, 2 bucks. I'm going to H&R Block to see if they need people. Do it now. They might. What is it? I know they're going to need it come September, October for extensions. Check in now. Find out when their second busy season is. Might as well get in. My Truth, the King, $2, 1 billion, laugh out loud, interest rates. Oh, yeah. You're right, Truth. Yeah, suck it, EBITDA. Oh, EBITDA, bro. EBITDA, bro. Bro. And you forgot the D again, My Truth. You only got interest, taxes, and amortization. You need the D before the A. Appreciation, bro. Yeah, what is... Hang on. Spirit Airlines debt payment. Has problems looming debt, more than $1 billion, shortage of planes because some of its jets are grounded for inspections and repair. Spirit Airlines going upscale. Mole's option to refinance debt. January. This is 6 months old. Oh, it's due in 2025. I'm just trying to figure out what the interest rates are. I'm not going to list that because why would Reuters have good journalists to tell me what the interest rate is on that 1.1 and when it was financed originally? Suck Duck, 2 bucks. Can't automate if it requires cooking books. You are correct, Suck Duck. I mean, Anderson Consulting was all the cool hit. Anderson Accounting and Anderson Consulting. Why don't you ask the Big Four about when they were the Big Five? What happened to their biggest swinging dick? What happened to them? Was it now it's Accenture? I think Accenture rose from those ashes. Not sure, $5. How prolific will boomer mind continue in the following generations? Come downtown, can't see you if you're not working, etc. Got to end sometime. Yeah, I think it will end with the Gen Xers. Gen X, like the older guard, might still have that boomer mindset. The ones that like were children in the 70s, because they're effectively boomers. I know. I hate to slam my Gen X elder brothers and sisters like that, but mid or younger Gen Xers like myself, they're no, they're not having it. They're not gonna. They're also very apathetic. Like, yeah, fuck this shit. The real resistance will come with the millennials who have zero loyalty, as they should have, to the boomers and corporate loyalty and doing what they were told. They will say, no, we're not doing it. And a lot of them are saying, no, we're not doing it. We're not coming in. The people are winning that fight. The corpos are not. The one that will cement it will be Zoomers because they don't have kids. You can't threaten them. They don't have houses. They don't have mortgages. They don't have kids. You cannot threaten them. They are not your corporate debt slave bitch. They'll be like, okay, I'll just collect whatever disability or live at home. I work 20 and I'm working from home. And I also think by that time, this anachronism, is that what the word is? This holdover, this obsolete idea that you need to go to a physical place to do white collar work. Certainly by the time my generation takes over corporate America, it will be over. 'Cause they're like, no, we're not keeping these downtown buildings for no reason. No, we're not forcing people to commute. Absolutely not. I was kind of hoping my generation would end the divorce and not just well commuting. We didn't know that was like something that could be ended, but we could also end the commuting. Um, we'd end the divorce. We'd end the commuting. Oh, and we end college education. Like you can self-certify. We don't need you to go and have a master's degree. We go back to a meritocracy. Sam Whiskey, $5 between 35 trillion in debt and shortages of accountants. It's time to take the U-boat to Argentina. Or just have crypto, or just have silver, or have bullets, or have an invaluable skill. Bob, $2. I'm still waiting for my tax return. When did you file it, Bob? How long ago did you file that thing? Dong is phone $5. My boss is having a hard time finding CNC machinists or at least good operators. They pay for shit. I've had several operators like CNC machinists. That's the reason I keep getting $1 raises early. Raisins early. Dong, holy shit. If you're getting a raise with that spelling, imagine what somebody who knows how to spell could get. Well, yeah, but you're also loyal too and reliable. But yeah, CNC, I looked at it. It's like what, $18, $20 an hour? Not sure. $2. Is there an accounting Olympics game yet? Pro life? No, there's not an accounting Olympics. There won't be accounting. It just be like good money, work from home. Answer to no one. Sam Whiskey, $2. The Romans had a flat tax. Why don't we? Because I'm being honest about this. Envy and pettiness. I have always advocated what would be an improvement what we have now is we maintain the welfare state we have. We just we just have a national sales tax. We eliminate all the income tax, all the different there's only one tax. It's state, federal, local. It's all sales. That way you know what your state, federal, and local governments cost. The federal government would be around 24, 25% sales tax on everything. And then what you could do is you could pay out more to account for the fact that the working poor would oh wait, how does that work? Hang on. The working poor people would have to pay the tax, the sales tax, because they consume things, but you would pay out more in welfare or assisted living or whatever it is that people who don't want to work have to collect. You'd pay them more, so the purchasing power would more or less be the same. Uh, so you could say, look, nothing's going to change except it makes everyone's life easier, including your own. We don't have to file an income tax anymore. They would still be against it because they want to punish the rich people by having them pay more in taxes. That's they are that short-sighted and hate-filled and envious. That's why we don't have a flat tax. It's a tool of punishment. And you could make a very reasoned argument like I do, like, "Look, we'll pay you more on the back end. It's just the collection has to be simplified. They won't take, oh, how does those rich pigs pay the same thing? I'm a single mom, and I got, and now Warren Buffett." Like, okay, fuck it, never mind. Just fine, pay it. Okay, file every year for the rest of your life and have that pain in the ass and go do your thing. I don't care anymore. But it's stupidity, pettiness, and envy or jealousy. My truth, the king, $5. You know of any other free millennial favorite word besides Khan's Academy resources, courses of accounting to dabble in before I apply to H&R Block? Well, there's the course I offer, and I go through all those resources. I kid, truth. Coursera has a course, and then also, if you're going to H&R Block, you're going to go the taxes route. So I would focus on tax courses, tax preparation courses. You can also get books just at online or at the library or bookstore. I'd almost recommend a worksheet. Go through some workbooks on preparing a 1040 form. You can even download the PDF files of 1040 forms. And there's an instruction manual that comes with it through the IRS, so you could practice that if you'd like. But if you wanted to do bookkeeping, you can get certified in what the hell is it called? QuickBooks. And there's a course offered through Coursera, I think, on QuickBooks. I think it's free too. I'd have to consult my PowerPoint presentation to know. But yeah, truth, if you're thinking about becoming an accountant, I cannot recommend that course enough. It's $150, I know, but you're gonna save a hell of a lot more than $150 not going to. You avoid college, I've just saved you, like, God, 40 grand on the cheap. Not sure, $2. What do we do when the boomers are homeless? That's a them problem. You have to understand the false premise. Everyone comes up to you and says, "Oh my god, society has this problem." Sounds like a you problem, not it. They're never a me problem. Oh my God, the homeless. That's not a me problem. I busted my ass off. I made sure I wasn't homeless. That's a them problem. If you want to deal with it, I guess it could be your problem too. Oh my God, this bad thing is happening to society. Sounds like a them problem. Because when I've had bad things happen to society, I say, oh my God, Aaron had a bad thing happen. Let's help him out with some food. No, it's just like, yeah, fuck you. Get privilege. Oh, fuck off. Not dealing with you. Oh, no, people are homeless. Oh, I I guess they should work and not they could become accountants. Bob, $2. It was way before April 15th. Ooh, yeah. Well, just so you know, Bob, the IRS did get more funding, so they have their customer service is a lot better than it used to be. Boy, that's did you have a particular I don't need more super chats, Bob, but it could be you had a very complicated tax return, but I doubt it. I think there's a snafu, something's wrong. Call them up. Look it up. You could look it up on the internet, type in your social security number and tell you the state of your tax return. Dung is fun, $5. Operators only make 18 to 20. They're bona fide button pushers. CNC machinists and programmers make them a lot more, nearly double what they make. Okay, all right. That's the operators. All right. I didn't know there was a difference. The CNC machinists and programmers. All right. That is $40, 35, $40 an hour, did you say? CNC. I'm going to add that to the list of jobs that pay well that don't require a degree. Programmer, not operator. Save. Boom. All right, there you go. Link below. Of course, world's greatest accounting career. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.